Professor Diggs, and you're watching the fifth quarter.
What would it be like if there were a world where there was more than one of me?
I can't imagine a world without you, though.
So sincere. Your sincerity
I
radiates
try.
across the camera.
I try. I hope my sincerity.
Our fans. It's playoff time, and apparently playoff time is money time.
Ooh.
And that is when people make their money. We make our money. Well, you make your money. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Okay.
I've already thrown her off.
Okay, with the corny jokes over here.
I'm like the walking meme.
A mima?
El meme? I'm a walking meme.
What did you have something in your tea or
No,
something?
I'm just excited because it's high school football time. It's playoffs.
Playoffs!
And there are so many incredible things going on. And I am just ready to talk about all of it because people have not been wanting to engage me in high school football talk this week for whatever reason.
Why not?
Know.
Nobody wanted to talk to you.
Nobody did. I mean, there are two people who wanted to talk to me this week. And, like, there's 100 games I picked. 3 I actually picked every game in the state, even those Houston schools that I don't like very much. I picked every game in the state. In fact, I picked New Caney to beat Richmond Foster this week.
That was a bad choice.
Bad choice.
They come from that 10-5A to 5A district. That is one of the toughest districts in the entire state.
I also picked.
You should have asked me before you started picking
Porter
Houston.
to beat somebody. I don't know if they did or not, or if they play tomorrow. But that doesn't matter because I don't like Houston football. But Lufkin, they lost. That's kind of a Houston team. Gone.
That's not a Houston team.
Magnolia West. Gone.
Poteet. Gone.
Making it sound like you do some sort of Houston show or something.
I do a
some
Houston
sort of
show. Thank you very much.
Non-partisan stuff over here.
I follow Houston and DFW.
So you go both ways?
Okay, so we're going to switch on to our
Houston
game of the week.
Right up I-45?
We're going to move to our game of the week. Denton Geyer played Hebron tonight, and Denton Geyer won 50-30 over Hebron. A good game from the Wildcats, my team, obviously. 543 total yards. Eli Stowers had 166 yards passing and 1 passing touchdown. But Kedrick Cobbs was the man of the night. 5 touchdowns.
1 for every quarter of this show.
245 yards, but 5 touchdowns. I have 5 touchdowns written down twice on my sheet of paper.
How important it was and impressive it was.
5 freaking touchdowns.
Did he? Is he going to win the bobblehead this week?
Oh, so we are in postseason awards for the GiveMeTheVin.com MVP bobbleheads.
Like, so we're not going to have individual bobbleheads for each week?
That Kedrick Cobbs wins a bobblehead in our postseason awards.
Will he be a finalist of the bobbleheads of all the bobbleheads?
He is a finalist in a couple of them.
Or do you have like a bobblehead bracket going on?
I have a bobblehead list of all of the bobbleheads.
Inside High School Sports, where they have like your top 12 and have like a single.
We have a bobblehead list.
A bobblehead list.
You cannot say anything about.
Speaking of bobbleheads, can you tell me who won the bobblehead this week?
Awards.
Are you allowed to tell me that?
Here's our postseason awards.
No? You're just ignoring me like you ignored me earlier?
I'm ignoring you right this
Interstate
second.
45 talk?
I am.
No?
I'm just, you're not there on this side all of a sudden.
Your professionalism. Can you imagine, folks, I'm going to talk to the camera now and not. Could you imagine having a show? She's a professional. Like, she went to school and did stuff where you have to deal with me and my immaturity. Could you imagine that?
I don't know how this happened,
I think
guys.
Ward brought me here just to annoy her. I think that's why I'm here.
He wanted somebody to make my skin crawl. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But
inside.
But this Geyer Hebron game, fantastic game.
It is, and we've talked about it. Geyer is on a revenge tour. We talked about it, and I talked about it 11 weeks ago that I watched Toledo versus Geyer, very first week of the season, and Geyer was playing playoff football right there, although their defense was a little bit in question. What are you doing over there?
To delete something off Facebook. Keep going.
Got to delete. Did you make a? Anyway.
Posted something on the wrong Facebook page, guys. It's very important.
Like she's got a special Facebook page that she doesn't want someone to see. So apparently maybe something got posted on that shouldn't have been posted. But you can check it out if you know her special fake name. Her real name, not her stage name. Her stage name is Ashlea Bullington, and at a Bullington 0. But
look at the plug.
Geyer has just been on a revenge tour. They had it against Toledo. They had it against Cedar Hill. They're going to have it next week against Cedar Hill at AT&T Stadium, 12 p.m.
We will talk about that
Saturday
game
afternoon.
in the second segment.
I'm just saying, if you'd want to see it, they're on a revenge tour, and Hebron was one of the first round of the playoffs that they wanted to get. Now, they didn't play Hebron last year, but still, they wanted to get that kind of a win. In fact, they beat Flower Mound last year, if I remember right, in the first round of the playoffs. A little bit of an upset, but then they did not fare too well after that. So, Denton Geyer, and we talk about running the ball and in pace, and we talk about playing clean games. No turnovers, that's huge for Denton Geyer. See, I'm thinking of next week already. It is hard.
We can't have you thinking of next week yet.
And she's trying to keep me on this leash where I can only talk about next week in the next segment. Because apparently we have some really good sponsors here.
No sponsors.
And those sponsors don't want me talking about next week.
We're not
they want
talking
me
about
talking
that.
about this week.
We can't talk about that. Keep going. Talk about Hebron Geyer.
377 rushing yards. Geyer basically said, Hebron, we're going to run down your throat and you're going to like it. That's all I got for you next game.
Wow. You actually get to pick the next game. What game do you want to talk about?
Well, we could talk about the games I went to this past week, where you could talk about how Royce City defeated Lovejoy 42-21. Or Royce City defeated Lovejoy 42-21. I think I just traversed that. Or we could talk about where I went last night, but I don't remember where I went last night, so it doesn't matter.
How do you not remember where you went last night?
I'm sure it was brilliant. Oh, I went to Sunnyvale again because I went to a small school. Small school Dixie came out, and you don't like me talking about it, so I had to mental block.
I don't mind you talking about small schools as long as it's something irrelevant.
Sunnyvale defeated Pittsburgh 25-13 in an absolute slugfest, and there were two games going on last night that were both 5-0 at the same time, and I was highly amused by that. Frisco Independence and Timberview and Sunnyvale and Pittsburgh were both 5-0 at the same time. Imagine that. It's like baseball scores. But Sunnyvale has a good defense. They have a really good special teams. I don't know, though, that they're going to have the longevity. Coach Settle tweeted me. He was very kind about it. He was just like, thank you for showing up last night after I gave my opinion that I don't think Sunnyvale is going to be much longer in this playoff world.
Wow.
So.
Well,
good luck, Coach Settle.
he's just happy that you decided to come. Another big game that we want to talk about from the Metroplex that happened last night was happened today? Yes, last night was Lancaster versus the Colony.
I bet $1 there's going to be highlights of this game, 6:30.
There will be highlights of this game.
Pat Doney will be verbalizing these highlights.
I can't even get a sentence out today.
I just want to talk about Pat Doney.
Well, so Lancaster and the Colony, this was a game that looked like it went pretty back and forth and pretty even until, except for
like it went pretty even?
Looked like it was pretty even back and forth.
You see those numbers right there?
I see 7s across the board.
Okay, you see 7s, but look at the thing that says total yards.
But let me finish.
Tell me how even that is.
If you let me finish talking, Diggs.
In my algebra class, 2x greater than 1x is not even.
So it looks pretty even score-wise, since that's what I'm looking at right this
really
second.
Not but even at all, ladies and gentlemen.
But the numbers do not look even, as Lancaster has way more total yards than the Colony. Way more total yards than the Colony. About 254 more yards. There's some math for you.
In fairness, the Colony had hidden yards because Miles Price had a couple of just insane kickoff returns.
And also, this is surprising to me because I think, to me, I would have picked the Colony.
Why?
Because I like the Colony. I think that they're very well-rounded.
What has the Colony ever done to you?
I would have picked the Colony to win. Why does that mean? What have they ever done to me?
I'm just saying, Lancaster is clearly the better team. I would have picked Lancaster to win if I were you. If you want Chris Gilbert to show you the love and respect that only the man, Chris Gilbert, head coach of Lancaster, can show, you got to pick him.
Well, I like the Colony for the Keith Miller, Mikey Harrington, Miles Price trio that they have. I think that they're a sneaky duo that don't get enough credit.
And now they'll be playing basketball.
And now they will be playing basketball.
If you were a fan of Lancaster, you'd be talking about all that, like Glenn Rice Jr.
Well, okay, well, fine. I'll talk about that now. So, anyways, but Lancaster wins this one 484 total yards.
Completely thrown
Glenn
off.
Rice Jr.
See, Glenn Rice Jr.
Glenn Rice Jr. has 141 yards and 1 touchdown. Trey Bradford, solid running back, has 248 yards on 26 attempts and 2 touchdowns. Rice Jr. also adds another touchdown to his rushing. And Kieran Neblett adds another 2 touchdowns, which brings them over the Colony.
But Trey's
44.
performance, that's bobblehead worthy right there. That's givemethevin.com.
We're doing postseason awards.
You
now.
keep saying that. Why can't there be bobbleheads? Why can't we have bobbleheads and season awards?
No, because the bobbleheads are not postseason
Ward,
awards.
I don't understand. Email me why that can't be. Get another sponsor. Let's have a givemethevin.com postseason awards, and let's have ProfessorDiggs.com bobblehead awards during the playoffs. It works. There is a ProfessorDiggs.com, by the way. Check it out on the internet.
Hey, what's up? Hello. Anyways.
It's a serious question. Do we have basketball bobbleheads?
We do.
So is that why we're moving? Are we moving to
No.
No?
It's postseason award bobbleheads.
Postseason award bobbleheads. But why can't we have weekly?
Because we only give them for the season. So
Does the basketball,
so what happens?
Does the basketball get weekly bobblehead awards now?
Yes, but we do postseason awards for basketball too. No, we don't do postseason awards yet.
So
or
next
we don't
week,
do awards yet for basketball.
Next week.
It's got to be after the season's over.
So what's going to happen next week? Is there going to be a bobblehead award next week?
Yes.
So it's a end of year bobblehead award next week, and you're going to have like 4 weeks of end of year.
We're going to have 6 weeks
Confusing.
of end of year bobbleheads for
I don't
postseason
like that.
awards.
Pat, I don't like that. And I
Pat
need
doesn't
you
get the say in
at the
that.
production meeting, Pat, to speak up against this malarkey. Please, Pat. Save me.
All of your
You can do better than that.
all
Pat.
of your
you know better.
all of your annoyances, take it up with Ward.
It's Pat. Pat can help.
Take it up with Ward.
Pat is the big dollar money man. Emmy award winning Pat Doney, NBC5. Why am I getting shut out? I'm getting laid out on. I don't understand. Do you know what the word of the night is? Is there somebody looking at me?
I am.
The word of the night is broom. And do you know why that's the
Why?
word of the night?
Why is that?
Because there were some districts doing some sweeping in DFW.
Wow.
Did any districts in Houston do any sweeping?
I don't know. I don't know all the districts put together. You'd have to talk to inside
Like, did
high
all
school
the
sports
Katy
insiders.
teams wins?
No,
for
I
instance?
don't think so.
I
don't
know
know.
Katy Paytow. Is that how you say
Katy
it?
Paytow lost.
Katy Paytow lost the White House.
Mm-hmm.
I got that one wrong. See, I only care about this as it impacts my pick'ems. But one of the big upsets of the night was Arlington Lamar.
Yes.
Arlington Lamar defeated Euless Trinity 34-31 or something like that. Well, I'll give you the right score. They scored late. What? 37-34, 34-31? 37-34. I was close and good enough to let you know that Arlington Lamar defeated Euless Trinity. And we talked about this man, and you said that you really liked him last week. Let's talk about Jack Dawson. Because if we had bobbleheads, Pat saved me on this one, he would be nominated for a bobblehead next week. I just want to be able to say he should be nominated for a bobblehead.
Well, you don't get to do that anymore. I'm sorry.
Jack Dawson showed up in playoff time, 25 for 34, 356 yards, 3 touchdowns, and most importantly, if you're going to play Euless Trinity, can you have turnovers? Ashley?
No, you cannot have
You
turnovers.
cannot have turnovers, and he did his job. And what about Trayvon West? You love the big receiver numbers, right?
I do.
How about 11 catches, 252 yards, 3 touchdowns for Trayvon West? Trinity couldn't stop him. And I have to imagine, are you ready for a little controversy?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's have a little controversy. If you're a Euless Trinity fan right now, you are probably pissed off. You are probably angry that yet again, three or four times in the last 5 or 6 years, first round, and you are gone. Euless Trinity is used to state championships. That is the standard at Euless Trinity. Not to lose to Arlington Lamar. Now, for me, I'll tell you, Arlington Lamar is a good team. We talked about it last week, how Lamar Trinity was one of the games of the week. But it's not acceptable in Euless, just right down the road, to lose in the first round. And there's got to be a little bit of fire under the coaching staff there to keep losing in the first round. You know, it was tweeted about one of the biggest upsets in recent history, except we keep having recent upsets. Last year, Cedar Hill lost to Richardson Pierce. This week, Texas I beat Lufkin. And but 4 years ago, it was SGP beating Euless Trinity in the first round. And yet again, we are seeing Arlington Lamar defeats Euless Trinity in the first round. People are not happy in Euless. You can go on Twitter.
I can
very
imagine
angry.
that. Not being very happy about that. I feel like if you're picking this game, I would have picked Trinity.
Yeah, I did pick Trinity.
I would have picked Trinity.
I completely.
3 out of 5 times I would have picked Trinity.
And this was a game where Trinity was in control. It was 20-7 in the second quarter. We just thought Trinity was going to run away. But then there were 2 field goals to make it 20-13. Then Trinity went back up 27-24 or 27-13. Then Trayvon West 2 straight touchdowns to basically tie the game. Trayvon West was a problem Euless Trinity could not solve. And something that Euless Trinity has been known for is their trick plays. They'll do a fake punt on you. They'll do little onside kicks unexpected. And Arlington Lamar got a big special teams play against Euless Trinity. Just sad night for Euless Trinity. And sad night for all 3 6A teams. Because Richland, they're gone. Weatherford, good friend. Who's our friend in Weatherford? Kenny Seals?
Kenny Seals.
Kenny Seals.
And
Gone.
Desmond Forrest.
Richland, gone. St. Angelo Central, gone. 3 6A, get your
Sorry,
all-district
guys.
team ready because you are done. Good luck in basketball season.
He's on a roll right now with the shade.
And 9 6A, yet another sweep. Allen defeated Saxe this week. Probably the best game of the night in that by-district pairing. You had McKinney defeated Garland Naaman Forest with the last second field goal, 24-yard field goal. So Naaman Forest gone. Saxe got rolled by Allen, and Wiley got shut out by Prosper. 10-6A, Garland ISD with Wiley. Go enjoy basketball season. Which they've really good basketball, by the way, I hear.
Well, I'm going to stop you before you piss everyone in the Metroplex off.
I do that anyways.
I mean, Diggsy, you're on a roll right now.
Have a nice day, 10-6A.
Okay, so out of all of these games, what was the biggest surprise that you saw so far from the first round before we move on to the second segment?
Well, I mean, in 6A, to me, the Trinity and Lamar game was probably the biggest surprise. But I would say actually the biggest surprise that won was South Lake Carroll. South Lake Carroll won 84-6, and it was 84-0 in the third quarter, like with half the third quarter left. South Lake could have scored 100. And we've talked about Louisville all year. They're a good football team. This is not. I mean, we talked about how
the Fighting Farmers.
We talked about how there were a couple of good games, and the games we were really looking at was Cedar Hill Geyer. We were looking at Lamar and Trinity, and we were looking at South Lake and Louisville, and 84-0. Good Lord, South Lake.
They're on a revenge tour too.
They are, and I mean, I don't want to ignore all the other teams in Region 1, but we are talking about a South Lake Duncanville regional final that is just looking absolutely salacious at this point. Look it up on thesource.com.
Well, Diggsy, we will be back in just a minute
Can we
with
talk
the
about
second
what
segment.
next week is going to be?
Next week, yes. In
We
the
can
next
finally talk
segment,
about
we can
it?
talk about next week. So we will talk about what next week looks like as playoff round 1 by district is closing up right after these messages.
Pat, I need you.
Don't forget to catch our extended coverage of the high school football season each week on The Warm-Up, presented by your local North Texas Geico agents. We will get you ready for all the action this Thursday on all our social media outlets. Watch Inside High School Sports to catch this week's MVP, brought to you by GiveMeTheVin.com. These MVP athletes make it look easy, just like GiveMeTheVin.com makes it easy to sell your car.
And we are back with the fifth quarter, and Diggs is super excited because he gets to talk about next week now.
And I'm also excited because I think I've made progress during the commercial break with getting bobbleheads for everybody.
For me?
For you? For everybody.
I just care. No. I just care about me.
Bobbleheads for all.
No, just for me.
Just for you?
Just for me.
I think.
Not everyone needs a bobblehead. I
Get
do.
her a bobblehead for Christmas. It's
That's what
the
I want.
least you
That's
can
what I
do.
want for Christmas.
You
is I want a
are
bobblehead.
person who runs her into the ground, makes her work like 80 hours a week. Get her a bobblehead.
Dang, you're close.
Get her a bobblehead.
I want a bobblehead.
It's easy. Done.
If anybody knows
making
what to
happen.
get me, what I'm asking for Christmas, bobblehead is definitely on that list.
So let's talk about next week, because we have a lot of the brackets in 6A, 5A pretty much finalized. And I know you're not going to care about talking about Midland Lee, but for me, Midland Lee was probably the one West Texas team that could give problems to DFW area teams, because as people know, and in fact, I get to renew a rivalry this week with
The
our friends in
Rebels.
Amarillo, Tascosa. That's right. Well, they're both kind of rebels. But Amarillo, Tascosa, they don't like me very much because I'm a pro DFW sort of guy. So sorry to our West Texas fans. But Midland Lee against Arlington Lamar, good game. I don't know where that will be. I would guess Abilene seems like a good place. Just saying there.
Right in
but
the middle.
a game that will be at 4:30 in the afternoon on Friday. So take off early and go watch it. Basically what I suggest you do, and you can roll footage on this and you can tape me saying this and send it to your boss. Is about 12 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Just tell your boss, I'm not coming back till after Thanksgiving week. Then go to AT&T Stadium, watch two great games on Friday, watch South Lake Carroll and DeSoto, and then Allen versus Rockwall, and then just watch football for the rest of the week, and then take a week off, go to football games next weekend, and go back to work in December. Rejuvenated.
Well,
Try
I'll be
that.
here.
Are you saying that's not going to work for your boss?
That's not going to work for my boss. I'll be here.
Well, it's worth a try. But, just take a footage and say, Professor Diggs said so. I'm a real professor, so...
I'm going to show my boss all that stuff. and
It'll
then
fly.
Maybe you can come
Please
do
don't show
all
your
of my
boss
work.
This week's show.
Maybe you can come do all my work next week.
I'd hate
And
to
the
do
week
that.
after next.
Absolutely.
And the week after that.
But South Lake against DeSoto, and for me, I'm a little less excited about this game after seeing South Lake put up 84 points on Louisville. I think South Lake Carroll is going to take a whooping stick to DeSoto.
I would have to agree that I think South Lake Carroll will take that game.
And then another game, and again, we didn't even talk about Arlington Martin. We talked about them, how they swept. They beat St. Angelo Central. Would you be surprised if I told you they scored another special teams touchdown?
Who? Arlington Martin?
Arlington Martin?
No.
We'll see how that travels to Mojo. And Arlington Martin takes Permian. Maybe they have a doubleheader at Shotwell. Maybe we'll have a Midland Lee Permian versus Lamar and Martin kind of a doubleheader.
Ooh, we got Marcus Lake Highlands next week, too.
We do. That's Division 2, and we're on Division 1.
Okay, fine. Let me go to Division 1. Gee, many crickets. Okay, fine. I'm on Division 1
Are
now.
you on Division 1 now?
Finally on Division 1.
How about Allen versus Rockwall? Have we not been talking about and waiting for this game like all season?
Rockwall.
Why do you like Rockwall?
Jackson Smith and Njigba. Period.
How many bobbleheads has he won this year?
1. But he's been nominated for about 10. And
Do we
so
have
pretty
a
much
limit?
every week he's been nominated for one. You can only win one during the season, but he has one from last year too.
So he's like back-to-back bobbleheads?
Yeah, the only person that I know that's got more than him is
Myles
RJ
Garrett?
Hampton. RJ Hampton.
Myles Garrett?
Or RJ Hampton.
So do we have our Myles Garrett bobblehead? Do we have to take
No, we
that
took
off
him
after,
back.
after what happened last night?
No, he has not been on the set for several weeks now.
Well, maybe we were...
RJ
foretelling.
Hampton is the only person that's got more than Jack and Smith and
Would
Njigba.
you be sad if I tell you I have no clue who that is?
RJ Hampton?
No, who's RJ Hampton? The
Basket-
basketball player?
Yes.
Like for who?
He plays in the pros now for
Really?
in New Zealand.
Well, if he didn't even make it to the NBA.
He's fresh out. He's supposed to be a senior in high school right
I mean,
now.
come on. I mean, we're talking about Zion Williamson.
He was supposed to be a senior in high school this year.
So, like, pulled a Luka Doncic and went to play pros early?
Yes. Instead of going to college. He changed the way it happens now for high schoolers.
I'm an NBA. I'm a college basketball. I don't understand that whole pro international scene.
So Flower Mound, Duncanville, Allen, Rockwall. I'm picking Rockwall.
And Flower Mound, I just completely skipped Flower Mound Duncanville.
Can't believe you did that.
I know, but that's at AT&T Stadium, 3:30 on Saturday, part of your excused skip day. And then we have to start talking about Houston football, which just beats me down to no end. Cy Ranch plays some team from that will play on Saturday.
They'll probably play Klein Oak.
Klein Oak against Aldine MacArthur.
They play tomorrow because Klein Oak's very, very good. They came from a really hard 15-6A district too. That everyone is on top. Like,
listen to her.
They were tied for the top of that
Listen to her.
15-6A district.
Klein ISD talk here on the DFW.
Hey, if
show.
you need some Houston, give me a call.
And then we actually talked about how Prosper was kind of getting slated to play Longview in the second round of the playoffs, and how that we were kind of saying, that's going to be it for Prosper. But then the whole crazy thing happened where Plano didn't make the playoffs. None of the Plano schools made the playoffs. Prosper got moved up to D1, and now Prosper has at least a 50-50 winnable game against Mesquite. Love Coach Fleener. I know Coach Fleener will have them ready. And it's crazy because one of these two teams, Prosper or Mesquite, and they're going to play at I don't know where they're going to play. I had that noted, but we don't know where they're playing. I'm sure Coach Fleen call me wherever you're playing. That's a good game. That's a winnable game for both teams. So one of those two teams will make it.
And I'm calling a spring win on both of those.
And then
it's probably gonna be a Prosper spring game.
Cy Woods against either the Spring or the. I'm picking the Woodlands, by the way, to beat Spring.
Why?
It's the Woodlands.
The Woodlands have been not very good
but
this year.
But it's still the Woodlands. It's like they're like the South
Lake
Carroll of
Houston. They were the fourth team in that district.
Oh, yeah, because it's a good district.
They played Klein Collins. They lost to Klein Kane. They lost to Conroe.
Well, wouldn't you lose to Klein Kane as well? That's like the
they're
Klein
brand
Kane,
new.
Klein Abel.
Klein Kane was
Klein
Kane was the first. It was their first year ever making
Kane
it to
playoffs.
killed
Abel, so Kane killed.
Yeah, the Woodlands barely made it out of that district.
And
I'm calling a spring win.
Woodlands. I mean, they're still when you think of Houston area football, you
Lions.
think of 3 teams. You think of 4 teams.
North Shore.
You think of North Shore,
Katy,
Spring Westfield, and the
Atascocita.
I don't even think of Atascocita.
Atascocita.
They're like the new kids on the block. They're like Rockwall.
Atascocita's good.
They're like Rockwall, but
Atascocita put up 70 again. You know how many games they've put up 70 in now?
How many championships has Atascocita won?
You know how many games they put 70
How
in?
many December football games has Atascocita played?
Do you know how many? Because they have to play Katy and North Shore.
Just wondering how many December games in their history of their
school
in
the
has
third round.
Atascocita played.
Okay, anyways, let's keep going.
Just
we're not going to keep.
Somebody answer
I'm not
that
going to
for me
argue
on
with
Twitter,
you.
by the way. None. And you're trying to say that they have more skins than the Woodlands?
Yes.
No.
If I've got to pick between
look it up on the internet.
They're not even in the same district or region. They're in Region 3.
Because the Woodlands is like
Spring's going to win that one.
We'll see. I'm going to tweet you.
You should. When Spring wins, you're going to say,
when
"Wow,
the Woodlands
Ashlea."
beats Spring, I'm going to tweet her.
You're going to say, "Ashlea, you know everything."
So those are the big games. Allen versus Rockwall is obviously the main event in that region, and to me, I think the winner of that game is probably the winner of the region. What do you think?
Most definitely.
And right now we're looking at it, like I said, at Duncanville, Southlake are kind of colliding in the regional finals, and that's just fun football. When you got a potential Allen versus, or you got a potential Duncanville versus Southlake game, and Allen or Rockwall plays the winner of that, that's just fun football. Division 2 bracket, and this is basically the Longview bracket because Longview is pretty much everybody's darling to win and repeat 6A Division 2. How about El Paso Americas versus Arlington? That's a fun game, and El Paso Americas is one of the rare El Paso teams I'm scared of because El Paso football has not been historically very good, and it's always been the end of the line. El Paso Americas had a big win against Wolfforth Friendship tonight. Do you know where Friendship High School is, by the way?
No, where's Friendship High School?
It's like in the Lubbock area.
Oh, I do know where Friendship is.
Yeah, it's like, I like Friendship because it's like a D away from friendship.
Well, right now you and I are not friends with how much flack you're giving me.
That's what I get paid, not paid to do. In Arlington, they had a big win against Richland, so you have both those teams peaking offensively. I think that's going to be a high-scoring affair. I don't know what I'm going to pick on that game yet. Geyer versus Cedar Hill.
Geyer.
People
Geyer.
love Geyer. You know that?
Geyer. That makes me like them more.
Then Arlington Bowie against Tascosa. I'm just going to go ahead and say I haven't researched this game yet, but I'm going to take Arlington Bowie to win it.
Taking Tascosa. What? Taking Tascosa.
Why? Why are you being contrarian? Nobody likes West Texas.
Because I'm a cantankerous person, okay? I like West Texas. I spent a lot of time out there last year.
That's a big word.
Thanks. I try.
Oh.
You're not the only person with a big vocabulary, Professor.
I have a big vocabulary. I use very small words. And then Marcus against Lake Highlands.
Marcus.
Marcus is playing good football. I mean, Marcus could we could have a Marcus Geyer regional final in this. I mean, it's going to be wide open as far as this goes. Then on the bottom half of the bracket, why are you yawning? Am I boring you?
Yeah. I'm kidding. Hey, guess who's back tonight? Who's back tonight?
Who?
E.J. Smith.
Boy, I was surprised by. I mean, the dude broke his hand
And had surgery on it.
and had surgery. Last time I saw with him, I saw a picture of him and his dad in a hospital gown. Like, well, that's it for EJ for the year.
Oh, that's what we thought too.
And then all of a sudden, here he comes out, and then Jesuit has just been dominant with EJ Smith this year. I mean, they beat Prosper, and now they get Longview. And I'm not saying that Jesuit's going to beat Longview, but what I am saying is that's a heck of a lot more interesting.
It'll be a good game
with EJ Smith.
It'll be a better game than Lakeview Centennial Longview.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that game will be at
Go Zebras.
Lobo Stadium or Zebra Stadium West at Kincaid Friday night, 7:30.
We know that they're not the actual Zebras. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It's definitely a joke.
People on Smoky.com like to joke, and we like to give you shade back. And then Vandegrift, Austin Vandegrift, or as I like to call them, Leander Vandegrift. I don't know.
They beat Bridgeland 14-13, so Klein Collins is going to be the person or the team that goes into the next round.
Against Klein Collins, which was part of that District 15 6A that you talked about. That was good with starring.
They won 15
like
6A.
The Woodlands.
They won 15 6A.
That's
They're a very, very good team this year. So I'm calling a Longview Klein Collins after that.
And then we've got McKinney. We talked about McKinney versus Midway, or McKinney versus Naaman Forest in the first segment, because that's what we talked about this week. And they play Waco Midway, Hewitt Midway, if you will. And that should be a pretty good game. I think Midway is probably a favorite in that game, but McKinney's defense over the last couple of weeks, I would not have thought that the part of McKinney's team that would have got them to the playoffs and got them in the second round of the playoffs would be their defense. They should have lost to Plano East.
Interesting. No.
Look it up.
No.
They got a bogus pass interference call.
Well, they won.
In the
Plano
fourth
East
quarter.
lost.
Should have lost to Plano East. Why are you so mean to me?
Because you've been a pain.
Talking about
today.
Plano East. Hey, I have to work Plano. It's part of the contract. I have to work Plano East. Let's talk about 5A Division I a little bit. East Lake and Monterey play on Saturday, and the winner of that game will play Birdville. Amarillo, the Sandys, they take on Colleyville Heritage with a very impressive win tonight over Crowley in overtime, 27-20. Azle beat Grapevine. Let's talk about Azle and Grapevine.
Fine. Whatever.
What are your thoughts about that?
I don't have any.
Do you have the game? Would you like to read us all the
I
players
don't have
who
the
did
game.
well in that?
I don't even have the game. I bet you I know some of their sisters or brothers or whatnot. Let's look. Let's see this.
So, to me, the most impressive part of this was that Grapevine beat Azle earlier in the year, and then Azle by 1 point, and then Azle came back with a.
You know how irrelevant they are? They don't even have the Hornet there.
They don't even have a Hornet there at H. They get the HS, 45-21. They gave up 423 yards to Grapevine, so not exactly a stellar defensive show. Abilene Cooper's got a really good offensive prowess, and
Jacob Lee had 4 rushing touchdowns.
Do you know who Jacob Lee is?
No.
So I'm not going to give an opinion on Azle versus Abilene Cooper, but I will research it. Denton Ryan will take on Lubbock Coronado. Lone Star struggled this week. I know you were talking about that in our pregame meeting.
Yeah,
pre-show meeting.
Marvin Mims got a little roughed up there in the beginning.
Yeah, and we had somebody from the IHSS_DFW Twitter account, follow that if you're not following it.
Yes, Matt Harris.
Say that
Ryan Harris.
Marvin Mims was hurt, and then somebody immediately tweeted at me that he was looking good on the sidelines, but maybe got
a little banged up.
Maybe got his bell rung, and they just took him out for precautions.
Guess what? If they win against College Station or John Tyler,
College Station won that game.
It might be a Highland Park Lone Star.
We talked about that third week.
It might be Highland Park Lone Star.
Are you going to go to that game?
I'll be here.
That didn't answer
Right
my
here.
question. Are you going to go to that game?
No, because I have to stay here and make sure that everything's ready for when you get here.
It's true.
Can I
Can I ask you a Houston question?
Yeah, go
Do
ahead.
Katy and North Shore play next week?
No.
When is their game? Or do they not even play?
Hold on. They would play.
So I always thought they had the second week. I thought it was like the Allen Rockwell thing. Again, I don't follow Houston football.
Hold on. Is this
so-
region? That's region 2. Hold on.
So
It
she's
would
going to
be-
look. You look it up, and I'm going to talk about Highland Park against Magnolia, which I should be throwing to you.
3.
Week 3.
Week 3.
So we could have Highland Park Lone Star and Katy North Shore the same week.
Mhm.
That is Thanksgiving football. That is satisfying, as my kids like to say. I don't know why my kids like to say things are satisfying. They say it's a YouTube thing that the
I
kids are
don't.
doing.
So I heard something this week and it made me
Yeah.
chuckle because I'm definitely not a boomer.
You're not
But
a
you know,
boomer?
okay, so you know how
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, that. I heard that this week. And
Yeah.
somebody explained it for the first time. I laughed.
Can you explain it in like 15 seconds?
Yeah, so
didn't.
saying okay boomer is like the response to saying okay snowflake, meaning that millennials are sensitive. So saying okay boomer means that you're out of touch.
Do you consider yourself sensitive?
No, I consider myself out of touch. You can say okay boomer to me anytime and be like, yeah.
So Highland Park Magnolia. I think Highland Park should run away with that
Ooh,
game.
McKinney North Lancaster.
Yeah, McKinney North Lancaster. I know Lancaster. The coaches went down to scout that game. I imagine they were impressed.
I'm liking me some McKinney North.
McKinney
right
North
now,
put up
though.
63 points in the first half. I might want to see McKinney North Lancaster if they'll probably play on Friday. So it's hard with AT&T in play to see that. And probably the upset of the night. Last year it was Cedar Hill against Richardson Pierce. Cedar Hill beat Richardson Pierce. Texas High with a big upset over Lufkin. Texas High with a big upset over Lufkin. I'm just going all over myself. And they will take on Frisco Independence, and you know Frisco Independence gave a little cheer when that happened. So now Frisco Independence, Texas High, McKinney North.
Who did you
Lancaster.
have in that Independence Timberview game?
I took Timberview.
I would have taken Timberview too.
So.
I actually feel really bad, and I'm going to admit that I said this today. I did an interview with Jaden Hullaby today, and I said, oh, congrats on the win. And then I sat there for a second, and I was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I forgot. I felt really bad.
Warm up.
No, you can actually check that on the recruiting trail, but it wasn't on the recruiting trail. It was
Recruiting.
us having a normal conversation. Thanks,
Oh,
Jaden, for not
just
getting
like-
onto me.
Just saying, like, what's up? Hey, how are things going?
Well, we were talking before the interview started. You gotta talk to somebody and make them comfortable
I agree.
before you have a in-depth, intense recruiting trail conversation. Because if not, they're like,
That's like
this,
that. That's like
what's
that
this
kind
old
of
lady calling me for?
recruiting. Old lady. You considering yourself?
I'm
you
a,
like,
compared to them, I'm an old lady.
but do you like go with the D1 cred? Like, hey, I played D1 soccer.
Yes, I usually do.
Just like,
And I
you
do.
better respect
And
me.
I do that.
can
I
whoop
do
your
that so they don't think I'm some like
millennial butt.
that I'm some like dum dum that doesn't
Right.
understand what they've
Like,
gone
you
through.
understand competition.
I want them to know that I understand competition, and not only that, but I understand like what college athletics are like.
So there you go. That's why we have her here, to let me know and to put me into check when I start running.
I will
games.
start putting your rear into check real
Yeah,
soon.
that ain't happening. And then 5A Division II, Wichita Falls had a nice win over Northside.
It makes me sad.
Ryder had a nice win over Southwest. And then big, to me, was an upset. Canyon Randall defeated Justin Northwest. Canutillo beat El Paso Andress. And then on the bottom half of the bracket, Alito is going to play Roy City next week.
Poor Roy City.
Red Oak is going to play Denton Braswell at AT&T Stadium. Frisco is
Calling a
going to play.
Braswell win.
Well, they already played this year, and Braswell already beat them this year.
Calling a Braswell win.
So,
And I'm calling a Frisco win over SOC.
Frisco over South Oak Cliff, if you believe her. I picked Midlothian over South Oak Cliff and was wrong, so I'll have to analyze what I got wrong about that. And Ennis versus Burleson Centennial.
Calling an Ennis win.
How about Marshall Huntsville? Do you know who won that game?
Huntsville?
Did they?
I don't know.
I think Marshall won. I don't remember. Maybe Huntsville won. I don't keep up. See, once you start seeing 9 that that Region 3, I'm out. So tell us what you're going to talk to Ward about.
We're going to talk to Ward about what's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Is he going to tell us who the bobblehead is?
No, he will. You will find out tomorrow on.
So defeated when it comes to.
On
Why can't I know who won the
Wingstop
bobblehead?
Inside,
I'm like an employee here, and I
go
can't even
talk
know
to Wiz
who
then.
won the bobblehead.
Then go talk to Wiz, because I don't even know who
you
won.
make me go watch.
You know what?
Wingstop
I do the
Ties
battle
Inside.
of the bobblehead, the battle for the bobblehead, and I don't even know who won the bobblehead.
That's just bad working environment right there. Come on, family.
We
Treat her
are
well.
family. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ward, coming up next.
We'll be right back with the fifth quarter.
The Inside Story is driven by your North Texas Honda dealers. Right now, they can help you get great deals on award-winning Hondas. It's their job to be helpful, so stop by your local helpful Honda dealer today.
And we are with the one, the only, the Wizard.
Hey, y'all. What's going
Hey,
on?
yo, what's up? Wiz, what we got? What do
Man,
you want to
Did you
talk
see
about
the
today?
Cedar Hill Pierce game? Did you talk about that, Jimmy?
We
Giants?
did not.
Because the problem with last year, Pierce beat Cedar Hill, first round of the playoffs, big upset. It threw Coach Lynn for such a loop. He gave up his home game and where they played at a neutral site because I have a feeling he thought it was a little superstitious and they may lose to Pierce again. They did lose to Pierce because of Caden Salter and Quinn Bright. They got it together in the second half. This is a 72-yard bomb on point. No pass rush. He had all day to pass, and that's what you're going to get. They threw for 2 touchdowns in the second half. Went on to win 38-20. They were going to be playing Geyer at AT&T, which is what I've been working on here, is taking a look at where all the different games that are going on. Great doubleheader Friday and a wonderful tripleheader Saturday. So those people that love football and don't want to be outside,
You might catch me there.
may catch you
Maybe.
there. All right, you probably won't.
I mean,
She's got a
I'd
lot
go
to
to a
do.
Saturday game, but
Okay.
I can't go to a Friday
She'll be
game.
there at the noon game to see her Geyer Wildcats take on Cedar Hill. She will be there.
Good thing I'm taking Thursday off next week.
I mean, will you? Listen, we're going to have a sweet flashback about Louisville on the show this week.
I feel bad that
I
they
feel bad
lost
they
so
gave
bad
up.
to South Lake Carroll.
They gave up Carroll's most points ever, but still tune in, Louisville fans, because we're going to have a flashback about your state title in
We
97.
promise not to talk too much about you and your game list.
Exactly.
But
We're only gonna show 2
97.
highlights. We done it. 97, you won the title. Didn't pass one time in the game. That'll never be done again. We'll look back at that game. It's going to be sweet. We're also having a sweet inside story about Stephenville homeschool team that has won like 9 championships.
Isn't that like
And they don't
a
even go
state
to
record or something?
State record for 6-man. They're a 6-man team. None of them go to school together because they're all homeschooled, so they just get together for football and they do their thing. It's
That's
very
fun.
well put together by,
I had some girls
guy
that I
Noah
played
Bullock.
soccer with growing up that were on homeschool teams.
and they have a better relationship, don't they, than people in school? It's not as
Well, they
petty.
don't have to deal with each other all the
It's not
time.
as petty as it is.
You get really excited because you get to like actually have friends outside of your homeschool,
Exactly.
outside of your parents and your siblings.
Now, here's something we're excited about. We're Saturday, tomorrow, we're taping studio for a special that we're going to be running 3 times in December and January. We're going to look back at 25 years of Inside High School Sports. 25 years. I don't even know if you're like
25 years.
25 years
I'm
old.
27.
Oh, I'm
So I've
sorry.
been alive for all 25 of those years.
See, guys, now you know what her age is, and you can decide whether you want to give her a call. We'll
I'm
be
too old
flashing her
for
phone
most of
number
y'all.
up later.
No.
We'll have it on the 21st. We're going to have it, which is state title day. We'll have it at 5 o'clock. If you don't want to go to the state title games, we'll have the special then. We're also
Ooh.
having it on the 29th. And for you early birds, we're going to throw it a 3rd time up on January 1st at 4:30 in the morning. I don't know if you're
Someone gonna wake up that early?
That's all we got for me. Now, I don't know what we got from Ashley. You
I mean, we got
anything
tons of
special?
stuff, but what else is gonna
Oh,
be
you
on the
want to
show
see more of the
tomorrow?
highlights?
I want to know what's gonna be on the show
We're doing playoff
tomorrow.
action. We're going to do tons of playoffs. We're going to do Flower Mound Marcus, first time they've been in the playoffs since 2015. They pulled off a win. Today, I told you about the Cedar Hill game. Our guy Pox just got back from Hebron. We're going to have everything you need to see, at least 10 to 11 games.
Geyer.
Lamar and 4-6A just swept through 3-6A. So all your favorite 3-6A teams, well, I hope you saw them because they're done for the season.
We're really sorry about that.
But that's all we're going to have for you. It's going to
Well,
be a good show.
It's going to be a great show. Tune in tomorrow for Wingstop Inside High School Sports at 6:30? 6:30 on NBC5 for Professor Diggs and the Resort. I'm Ashlea Bullington. Thanks for watching the Quarterback.